To check in with the headlines at 6:30 a.m. Nigerian time. It's the first day of March 2023. It's also the day that INEC has declared a winner of the 2023 presidential elections. The winner is Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu. It did poll the maximum number of votes with 8,794,726 to be declared winner. We're bringing moments around that declaration and many other moments building up around this, even as we go on through the course of the broadcast for today. We ask of you to please be responsible in your engagement of commentary, your viewpoints, and the likes of that. We like to clearly say we would not accept abusive language on air. We would like to also mention Nigeria Info is not a protest platform of any kind where you call in the radio station and you speak in a way that indicates a level of irresponsibility. All right? So having said this, we plead with you to kindly follow through. Now, the stories I'm about to read out are from is based on the editorial guide of various publishers in Nigeria, various publishers of newspapers around the country. And we are asking of you to understand that, and we are only informing you of the headlines as we have them for today. Taking a look at some of these stories here and there of interest. Let's start off with Leadership newspaper for today and the headlines they do provide along the lines of this. From Leadership, you find King at last, Tinubu's long journey to president, Obi's rise. What's next for Atiku? What Nigerians expect from new president? Time for cool heads. 2023 elections, winners and losers. All right, and then you also want to read about this. Obi defeats Atiku's running mate in Delta. Wike delivers Rivers to Tinubu as APC candidate defeats Obi and Atiku. 2023 polls, Obasanjo Abdulsalami, one of rising tensions. Other stories, election results, don't tamper with Nigerians. Nigerians will. Southern Middle Belt leaders tell INEC. Thugs destroy vehicles at Nnewi Collation Center. Obi floors Soludo, Arthur Eze in Anambra State. All right, well, those are stories from Leadership. We'll just take a few of the stories here and there. INEC declares Tinubu president-elect. Akeredolu asks Ondo residents to remain calm. Sokoto gets new NYSC coordinator. Man charged with 800,000 naira fraud. Al-Hassan Dogoa arrested at Kano Airport. Man charged with theft of pipes. Elections. Ogosipi dispels riot rumor, commends residents. Labour Party's irritates sends PDP Aduda out of Senate after 3 terms. INEC finally resumes collation amidst protests in Abuja. Those were late into the night headlines. INEC declares Zamfara senatorial and 2 House of Reps elections inconclusive. APC loses all senatorial districts to PDP in Kaduna State. Obi stops Okowa in Delta, polls 180,000 votes above Atiku. All right, well, here and there, you find some of those headlines there. You also want to find whether you're batified, articulated, obedient. Renewed hope has come, says Tinubu. INEC concludes major part of collation, says to make final pronouncement. They've done that already at this time. Okay, APC will win all Senate, 8 reps seats in Ondo states. That's now it's now been concluded as well. Moving away from Daily Trust, let's take a look at stories from The Sun. Nigeria decides 2023 why Abia Charter of Equity can't be ignored. Mascot Uzo Kalu speaks about that. PDP, Labour Party, ADC demand fresh election, want INEC chair to step down. Federal court fixes March thought for hearing in Tinubu, APC's case against PDP, Labour Party and Action Alliance. Tinubu files suits to stop PDP Labour Party from halting collation of results. Do not ignore the concerns of Nigerians, Autumn tells INEC. INEC declares Tinubu winner of presidential election. All right. Tinubu beats Atiku Obi in votes volume. Other stories. Labour Party has scored down 2 Goliaths in Abia, says Alex Otiti. INEC declares Shekarawu winner of Kano. Uzodinma to empower 300,000 youths in Imo State. Census will usher in better Nigeria, MPC Commissioner. Rebuild of Bondme Duguri market starts this week, says Zulum. Elections far below expectations, says Scan. Fawami appointed Nigerian British Varsity VC. Okay. And Feni Group says Obasanjo should not be the moral guide to Nigerians. All right, well, these are stories you can read up more about from The Sun. Now, moving on to this day. This day newspaper also provides some interesting, headlines now. Buhari congratulates President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Cross River NNPP supporters allege distortion of party logo on ballot paper. Fire God's newly inaugurated Lagos Blue Rail Line. Abia North PDP Labour candidate rejects resort, says poll not concluded. And then Cross River NNPP supporters allege, okay, I did take that already, in another light this very morning. All right, here we go. Also of interest from business, you find Seplat now says 22.11%, I beg to say, increase in PBT, declares 5 cents dividend. And then away from this day, moving on to the likes of the nation for today, just to conclude some of the headlines. Tinubu is president-elect, you find in the nation. APC, PCC, SDP candidate, Fayose to Atiku, Fayose to Atiku and Obi congratulates Tinubu. APC, PCC to opposition. You can't abort the electoral process. 10th Senate, APC wins 51 seats. Calls for my resignation misplaced, says INEC chairman. 25% in FCT not needed to be declared president, according to Sands. Salted, Bajabiamila, Kokori won against truncation of democracy. Obasanjo cancellation remarks on patriotic, says ex-INEC chief. Unilorry partners, Nakman on agricultural engineering. Murik condemns attempt to disrupt resorts coalition. MPC trains 40 journalists in Yobe on census reportage. COS seeks Nigerians' help to fight insurgency. Nigerian doctor wins World Lung Health Award. 3 policemen hospitalized as gunmen attack another station in Abia State. Lawan, Umai, Takwombo, Mustafa, Sani Bello, Echocho, others for Senate. CBN, Nigeria records $20 million trade deficit. And of course, Obasanjo lacks credibility to talk about fraudulent elections, says Showore. How Oshoba was disenfranchised, averted crisis at polling units. Bayelsa APC candidate rejects poll results. 1 killed, lady home seeker after collecting 150,000 naira. Okay. These are some of the headlines there as we have it this very morning across the papers. Let's take your reactions to them. When I do mean by reactions, I mean responsible reactions. But don't forget, those stories have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers. And we are only informing you of the headlines as we have them for this very morning. Okay? All right. There are a few things to share with you. The president-elect has given his own force speech. It lasted just above a minute. And also, just to let you know that the INEC result that was declared at some point in time, we'd like to take up how that was said as well this very morning. Okay. All right. We'll see how all that takes place. We'd like to take your course this very morning. We ask of you to follow through with our editorial guide. Your course need to be devoid of hateful speech, lies, fake news, and abuses. We ask of you to be truthful and factual as you share with us on Nigeria Info. We plead with you especially to keep your emotions in check as you share with us as well. If you need counseling, if you need to talk to a friend, if you need to reach out to a loved one, please do. And if you think you need to reach out to a loved one without them soliciting for it, please do the same. It's a very important day for us all. We have polarized emotions. People who are sad, people who are unhappy, people who are joyful, and people who are, at the prime of their joy as well around the results. But we ask of you, whosoever you are, and whatever position or mood you are in, be a Nigerian, be responsible, watch what you say where you go, and let's do this in the best way we can. For those who are challenging the processes, we expect that we'll get to hear from them as the day unfolds. But in the meantime, please be responsible as you share with us.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
All right, let's go through the calls this very morning and just listen to you one after the other. We're streaming live on YouTube in case you want to join in as well. We're available right there for you. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, World Class Dr. Femi D. Emily. Good morning, Nigeria Info family worldwide. Can I use my prefix or suffix or I should leave it?
Let's just go with Abubakar. I think 2 days from now you can start off. Let's stay in the clear, okay? Please.
All right.
Thank you for doing that.
Ali, I'm calling from PW Kubwa. I want to start by thanking God Almighty for spanning our lives to witness this very, very day of historic proportions in our life. Mr. Femi D, during the build-up to this election, I made this prediction. And that is why while the coalition was going on, I was never perturbed. There is no any sense of panic in me. Reason is this. 2019, these guys were together. And if you act the vote of the three others, believe you me, APC stood no chance. Yes, these are pure statistical evidence. So 2027 is by the corner. Let's plan and see how it goes. But for now, let us rally around the winner. Let's pray for a better country. Let's pressurize the government to give us the dividend of democracy. Let's give constructive criticism. Let us pray that God guide them, God protect them, God makes it easier on them to discharge their responsibility in providing infrastructure, healthcare, education, security, and what have you. The kingmaker has finally become the king. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi D. Amale, for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much as well. We appreciate you for your words. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Nigeria. It's an early.
All right, then.
First of all, I want to congratulate Nigerians and congratulate the president-elect, Bola Tinubu. God elect the president as all the leaders. And I want to also appreciate all Nigerians that voted on Saturday. They have tried. And I also want to congratulate the opposition, most especially the obedience. They have made this democracy to work in Nigeria. They have set a standard, and I want them to keep it up. This is what we are yearning for. We want to put all our leaders on their side. We want to make sure that the Nigerians enjoy the dividends of democracy. We want the leaders to know how to take responsibility. And this is we are going through a course, and we really appreciate the effort of the obedience. I want to congratulate Mr. Peter Obi. He should not see this as he lost the election. He has won. Even take it that this is a good trade and we should work together. I want the president-elect to extend the hand of fellowship to all other candidates to build this nation in a greater height. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you also for your words. Grateful to you. All right, Dr. Mrs. Oliba from Owerri says it's only in Nigeria that people want to win at all costs, and by all means, whether they are people's choice or not. It's not only in Nigeria that leaders find it difficult to apologize for their wrong acts or resign voluntarily, as it is obtained in other climes. It's only in Nigeria that fathers want to outlive their own children. It's only in Nigeria that the old people who are overspent, have run out of ideas, have outlived their time, carry about their CVs, insisting to leaders, why can't we have faith in democracy that we fought so hard for? That's our premonition on this. Good morning to you.
Yeah, Doctor, good morning. How are you? My name is Momizi.
Yes, good morning.
I beg, this issue of new Naira note, we are not talking about it again. It's election. Election don't come and go now. So I say, let me bring it to the fore, because there are some places that you have to buy something of 2,000, 3,000 naira. They will tell you that they don't collect transfer. They don't have POS. You have to pay cash. So I want to appeal to them. At least they have declared the winner of the election thus far, so that we can move on with our life. Because this new Naira note, they prepare for body. And people are even compounding the whole crisis. Till date, some banks are not paying. They just open for transaction to receive complaint. That's all. As you go about day-to-day activities, please be careful. We should not resort to violence. There are all better ways of demanding for what you think is yours. Please, I appeal to you, because the road you will go and burn tire, the people you are going to fall, you might not have it back. Remember, God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
God bless us all. Thank you for that as well. All right, well, we'll keep up with many of these things as the day unfolds. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Dr. Femi, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Obasanjo from Amali.
All
Good
right.
morning, back to fire. In fact, I love much of your comments, but I won't congratulate. No. Why? Because in fact, I love your words completely. Let's unify and bring Nigerians. We know the people that bring us this badness, the obedient, the PDP, the 12 million vote or the 13, 14 million vote or 15 million vote that we to galvanize, to dethrone APC. We keep saying it. Atiku is a Fulani, Peter Obi is from the southeast, or Christian, whatever.
I would like you to make your points in the most sensitive way you can, okay? This very morning, normally.
I'm not saying it against the rule. It's all of us that bring APC back. If we are to construct and to understand what is democracy means, we will have won. We thrown the APC out of the office, but we feel that from the south east, somebody must come. From the north, somebody must come. Forgetting that we are dealing with the government. If this Imelonko comes to stay,
All right.
and we have talked about the other sky, family.
All right. Thank you, Omale. I understand.
Nigerians.
Yes, I understand.
Nigerians.
Your candidate did not clinch the ticket. I understand that. Now the Batman begins. Challenging times for the... I'm not too sure what bank he was writing here, but that's much of your message I can take. Mwazu John Lasisi from Jigobari says, good morning. From the greatness of Nigeria starts now. No winner, no loser. All hands must be on deck. Economist Augustine writes, and it says, this, I'm reading from YouTube, by the way, these are indeed hard times. Friday Dowder says, good morning, FMD, more wisdom. Chibuke Jonah says, good morning, FMD. Please, let's keep calm. God's kingdom will bring lasting peace to all mankind. Watching live from Port Harcourt. Emeka Okeke says, good morning, FMD. Nigeria is moving from different situation to another. I feel pained for my fatherland. More Nigerians will leave the country as things build up. That's what you do right about. Abdullawal Duwali says, congratulations to Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. May Allah give you the strength to deliver on your promise. Emefiele should allow us spend our old notes, or he should print more new notes. And then Mohammed says, congratulations to the winner. Abdul Rashid Abdul says, congratulations to Tinubu from Gombe. Thank you as well for your message. Okay, let's take more calls. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Femi.
Yes, good morning to you.
Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Fisher, President.
All right, welcome.
Thank you. I can never congratulate this election because it's not free and fair. This is not an election that we expect to have. There must be a winner, but it has to be transparent. With the word of INEC chairman, this is never an election. It is never an election.
Emmanuel, future president, I understand you. Emmanuel, future president, I caution you. Emmanuel, future president, there's something called inciting, and I would like you to caution. Yes, I'd like you to caution yourself carefully before you choose.
That INEC refused to transmit
Emmanuel, future president. Emmanuel, future president. I'm not stopping you from speaking. I'm just saying you should choose your words very carefully, please.
That he did not transmit a result electronically. Is he inciting?
Emmanuel, future president, I have respected you all through these years, and I know you've terminated your call. And the same goes for every other person. We're not disputing that all kinds of things happen, but I think it would be very responsible for you to speak to it to the point where people who have stayed within their homes, finding it difficult to accept the results, which many people are finding it difficult to accept the results, for you to speak along the lines of you want to incite. It would be very disrespectful for you to call in a radio station or call me and presume and go along those lines. It's fine for you to analyze the likes of that. I do not expect everybody to cheer on with the results, which is perfectly fine. But please, what I'm very, very particular about this very morning is your choice of words, of expressing your displeasure or pleasure, as the case may be. Your choice of words is very, very important. In the event that your choice of words is totally out of order and it's such to an extent that provides reasons for concern, we are inclined, and I say this, we are inclined, and we are under much of our rights as well, to either ban you, and in the event there's a reason for anything to be brought up into our attention, we would not hesitate, okay, to share your details. And I've said it again, please don't call the radio station to incite. Analyze, no problem. Show your displeasure, no problem. But your choice of words remain very, very, again, very, very important. Very important. There are a lot of angry people out there. I acknowledge there's a lot of things that didn't go as as pretty much sold by INEC that this is what they would do, that they did not do. There are things to query. I agree with you. There are things to wonder about. I agree with you. There are things to venture into as deep argument. I agree with you. But please, your choice of words at this time is very, very important to all of us, okay? All right, I need to round off to go on the break, but I do see messages from also Francis from Enugu State. He says, good morning. The will of God shall always prevail, not that of man. Honestly, INEC has failed to justify the confidence reposed in her. May God help us. Now, I like this kind of comments. Francis, thank you for writing in the most matured way. This is the type of people we're looking for, matured callers and contributors, okay? INEC has sold my future to APC. That's the position of Moses Ebanchi Obadiah is of that opinion. Good morning, says Usman Jima on Facebook. May God help us in Nigeria. Stanley Uchena says, don't force yourself on people and expect them to be looking at you. Impossible. INEC and APC, you have not done what we didn't expect. Nigerians are watching. Stanley Uchena writes that in. All right, stay with us right here on Nigeria Info. After the break, we'll take more calls from you this very morning. Thank you for being responsible. Thank you for being, quite detailed around your emotion. Good morning. I'll be back shortly.
Nothing breaks the news
like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.